With respect to the draft today, in the second round, we took, I'll maybe let Bobby speak to the players if you'd like to touch on that. Bobby, who we selected today, and a little bit about each player.
Yeah. So like Kelly said, we kind of looked to do more quality than quantity. So we had 6 picks. We just felt in this draft with our approach that if we could move up and get into some layers of players that we really liked by using other picks or multiple picks, it would benefit us. So with Jacob Wozniak, we feel we're getting a real good size power forward with skill, can score, can make plays. And we were really excited to be able to get up to 55. We went from, even though it was a few picks, we just were waiting for him, and we didn't know if we'd get to our pick at 58. So we did a pretty great job, I think, of leveraging that. And then we did the same in the third round, going from 91 to 85, doing the same thing, using 2 picks and moving up. And Matteo Nober, we took a kid out of the Quebec League that we think has great upside. I think two-way forward that has skill, can play both sides of the puck, is very raw, and will need some time to develop. But we feel in 3 or 4 years we're going to have a hell of a player. And then it was a waiting game. We just waited to the 6th. I think it was an interesting draft. There's a lot of picks being traded. We were just patient, and then we had some guys that we wanted to target in the 6th round, and we were able to. Alex Wehrmeyer, who was an older player, we did much the same thing with Trent Swick last year. We picked a 19-year-old player that was going to go back for his 20-year-old year that had a very good year. We just think it was good value. We did it with Trent last year, and we ended up signing him. I think Alex showed much the same improvement throughout his career, and in the year he had in Portland. And then with the Solquist kid, it was an interesting Gustav. We had him on our list last year as a big Swede that we'd maybe take in the 7th. We decided at the time to trade our pick with Washington, and it was the pick that we ended up picking him this year. But he's an interesting player. He made the All-Svenska team in Sweden, had a very, very good year. Was a guy that in February, we saw him at the U20 tournament in February over in Europe. And then our guys just started watching him from there. He won the most improved player on his All-Svenska team. And we just think with his size and his skill, with his raw ability, there's a lot of improvement there to come. And we just think it was a great time to pick him. And it was interesting that we used the pick that we traded back, or we traded last year to get a 6th-round pick. So we were happy with our draft. We felt that not a lot of picks, but quality over quantity.
Kelly, in terms of yesterday, do you anticipate maybe another vote coming from the other GMs to maybe go back to the format, seeing how yesterday was so bogged down, especially you guys didn't have a 1st-round pick? I'm sure it probably went longer than you probably would have thought.
Well, Danny, it's tough to find anybody that voted in favor of the virtual draft. It's like finding people that voted for Nixon. And I will be surprised if we do not revert back. It's not a decision for me. All I can have is the opinion of our organization. And we when we were asked about it, we took the responsibility pretty seriously. We had a list of pros and cons and how it impacts Bobby's staff. And I think in fairness to the teams that voted in favor of a virtual draft, we held our draft in a big boardroom over at F&F, where we did our year 1 work before City National was built. And it's easier. The actual draft process is easier because you can talk to the guy at the end of the table. You can have video on monitors if need be. You can listen to the draft coverage, and I think that part of it is likely the reason that it changed. Back to that, I think that what we looked at, and I've touched on it already, is I just really feel I just feel it's so special to our sport. We're the only sport that does it that way, and it'll come up. We'll have a discussion, and we will see, I guess, what the NHL thought of how the draft went, what the other teams thought about it. But I guess I would say to you, I'm hopeful that it does revert back, because that's how we felt all along.
For Kelly, now that you're heading into the next phase of the offseason, what is the organization's, status on where Alex Pietrangelo's health is, and do you expect him to be available this season?
We're going to know more on that in the coming days. Alex and I have had a number of discussions. There's some things some decisions that need to be made that will be, when I spoke in the opening about some of the things that we think we'll have more clarity on in the coming days, that'd be one of those things that we would talk about then.